Whose idea was it to invite him? Shang whispered as Mulan secured her horse Khan to their carriage. Quiet, Mulan whispered back. He might hear you. I hope he does. Mulan had to smother a laugh. Since being promoted to general, Shang spent much of his time with the ministers of war, devising ways to defend China from future attacks. But before that, he had come to visit Mulan in her hometown, had even stayed with her family for a week before duty had summoned him back to the capital. You sure, soldier boy, isn't the reason you're going back to the capital? Grandmother Fa had teased when Mulan announced her decision to become the Emperor's advisor. Mulan smiled shyly. I'm the first woman ever offered a position in the imperial capital. I can't turn it down. Besides, I want to help China. Right now, this is the best way. Grandma Fa smiled at her slyly. Maybe so, but it won't hurt to invite him to dinner every now and then, don't you think? Who turned down dinner with the Emperor? Mulan had to admit her grandma was partially right. She was glad to see Shang again. Very glad. It was like old times, except she wasn't the soldier Ping following under his command. This time, her rank was equal to his. She rather liked the change. Mulan opened the wooden window that allowed her to peer into the booth where Chi-Fu sat. Thank you for joining us, Chi-Fu. If the weather's fair, we should make it to Hongjing in 2 days. Then she closed the window and turned to Shang. Shouldn't you be sitting inside, given you're in charge of this mission, he asked, and be stuck with Chi-Fu for 2 days? Mulan shook her head vehemently. I'd rather sit in the rain with you and my lucky cricket. Mulan glanced at Cricky, who had found a straw hat to help him keep dry. Lucky indeed, Mulan murmured with a chuckle. To Shang, she said, thanks for getting the map on such short notice. That's a perk to being a general, said Shang with a grin. An endless supply of maps, ropes, and watery kanji, Mulan supplied jokingly. All right, the military's food is not great, but I'm counting on you to bring me leftovers from one of your dinners with the Emperor. Though not even an imperial meal can hold a candle to your grandmother's cooking. Mulan grinned. You still miss the dinner you had at my home? The man can eat. Grandmother Fa had praised Shang when he visited their family for dinner. It was custom for the host to offer their guests an ample helping of every dish, and Shang had managed to polish off every plate and even have seconds and thirds. The best compliment there was to Mulan's grandmother's cooking. Shang's eyes softened. I miss you, Mulan. I'm glad you're here. Before Mulan could reply, Chi-Fu popped out of his booth, peeking at the driving seat. Are we going any time soon? He yelled, tapping both of them with the rolled-up map. The entire river will be flooded by the time we arrive. With a flourish, Chi-Fu took out a scroll and made a show of recording their late start. Loitering at the gates, he muttered, ignoring imperial priorities in favor of useless small talk. Mulan made a face. Of course Chi-Fu was going to be recording their every move. A bad report was not something she wanted, especially for her first official assignment. Come on, the catfish is watching. And so they focused ahead, driving briskly past the imperial cities south toward Hongjing. Before long, the sky changed, and the clouds ahead didn't look promising. Mulan glanced back at Chi-Fu, who lay snoring in the back of the carriage. I guess he's saving his energy. Shang took out an imaginary brush and pretended to record. The Emperor's oldest, most valued advisor spent the journey sleeping in the carriage, basking in the northeast sun as he absorbed the details of the imperial edict and map during his slumber. Shang, Mulan slapped the general playfully on the shoulder, but she couldn't help laughing. Let him sleep. Maybe they'll put him in a better mood when he wakes up.